Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Fire Talk, where we give you the latest news updates on Southeastern University athletics. I'm Ken Ingle, president of Southeastern University. Joining me, as always, is Drew Watson, director of athletics. Good to see you, Drew. How you doing?
I'm tired.
Yeah, it was a long night. How late did you stay up last night?
I was up till
watching all the returns.
2:45.
2:45. I went to bed earlier, 2:00.
So you know, I was counting. I think I've had 14 presidential elections since I was born.
I can't even remember
You don't
how
have
many.
to share.
It's been a lot.
Do the math there. But some people just, they're content to watch the news the next morning.
Yeah.
And others just have to, and some don't want to watch.
Yeah.
Because they don't want bad news. It was a late night, early morning, and then of course coming off the heels of homecoming.
Yeah, had a great homecoming. Yeah,
I mean, sometimes
amazing.
We had 5 athletic events in 24 hours, from Friday night at 8 till Saturday night at the men's soccer game, and sometimes people look at that as an administrative burden, but it's great.
No,
seeing
it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
5 teams playing, and it's a lot of buzz, and that happens kind of randomly. We haven't had that many athletic contests on homecoming since I've been here, 14 years, but it just happened to fall that way, and it was great.
And all of them great games. And Fire football homecoming game was a great game. Almost beat number 5 in the nation.
Yep.
Lost by what? 3 points. We'll talk about that here in a minute.
We will.
But good homecoming. It was great.
Yeah, it was absolutely exactly what you would hope for a homecoming, and competitive. I mean, we've had some football games in the past where, we win by 45 points, and it's like, that's not. People leave at halftime because it's like, well, this game's been decided. So,
yeah, no, it's a great weekend, exciting time of the year as we're also kind of starting playoffs and many of our fall sports this week. A couple of others next week.
Yeah, we have men's and women's soccer starting tomorrow.
Yep,
at home, both of them, and then cross country this weekend.
A lot to talk about, so let's dive in. Let's start with football. We'll kick it off where the Fire hosted number 5 St. Thomas, lost a close game 2017. Second time we've played a top 5 opponent this season, held our own. What do you think?
Well, I think in both of these games, there's been times when we've shot ourselves in the foot. I think coming into the season, if you had said, if somebody had sat here and said, you're going to lose to St. Thomas by 3 and number 1 Kaiser by 7, we probably would have been happy with that.
Yeah.
But when you look at the mistakes we made in the second half of both those games, I think Adams, Coach Walt's kicking himself and the players are kicking themselves, but we haven't had those big of games for a few years here. So all the players aren't used to playing that with that kind of pressure, and sometimes things happen on a football field. And one of the things I would say was, the unfortunate penalty we took on St. Thomas's last drive, putting them 15 yards closer to a field goal. But that stuff happens, but the play that probably, we missed a field goal, but the play coach probably looks back on is the 4th and goal from about a foot out. Where Josiah Neos had gone out with an injury the play before. Yeah. And so we didn't have our bruiser running back to kind of push it in, and St. Thomas unfortunately stopped us there, and we ended up losing by 3. But it was a really good game.
Yeah, went down to the wire. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And we were ranked 18 going into the game. I was anxious to see what the polls would be. We only dropped 1 to 19. Do you think we were going to still have a shot at the playoffs?
Well, we're right on the line. Okay. So unfortunately, in these cases, it's a committee of NAI coaches that makes these decisions, and
a little politics
sometimes
involved,
there's
maybe?
Politics and self-serving nature of this kind of thing. But, I think our resume speaks for itself. There's no other team in the country that can say they lost to number 1 and number 5 by a combined 10 points.
Right.
And so hopefully at the end of the day, things work out for us, because I'd really be happy for Adam and the guys to be able to get that opportunity.
2 games left, right?
Yeah, we go to Ave Maria, 7 o'clock Saturday night. And then the next Saturday we go up to St. Thomas, Thomasville, Georgia, and play that game. We've got to win those games. Obviously, if we drop either one of them, playoff conversation's over.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's going to be an exciting couple of weeks, and hopefully team gets ready to make a run for the playoffs. It's going to be good. All right, let's talk about men's and women's soccer. Both completed the regular season last Saturday. The men played Weber to a tie, and the women beat Florida Memorial 1-0. The teams now start playoffs, right?
They do. And have I ever shared in the show the angst I have over a tie?
Yeah, you have, but remind us again. Why do you have that angst?
because an athletic contest shouldn't end in a tie.
Sure.
You know, we're sitting there. You should have some method to break it. So somebody goes home a winner and somebody unfortunately goes home a loser. But, you know, we were sitting there after the game and, you know, we spent 90 minutes of clock time. Yeah. And then halftime, and we're right where we were when we started. So, yes, we tied Weber. I'm getting therapy for that. That tie situation. We tied Weber on the men's side, beat Florida Memorial 1-0 on the women's side. They're a pretty good team. And we play, ironically, we play them again tomorrow night in both sides. Yeah. So the men play number 5 Weber. We're the number 4 seed. And the women are number 3, and they play number 6 Florida Memorial. Yeah, so it's a rematch from just this past Saturday.
And if we win, what's next?
We would both go to Kaiser.
Okay.
And that would be next Tuesday.
Great. Big day tomorrow. So looking forward to seeing how the teams do. And and then next up, volleyball. Ladies are in the final week of the regular season. They beat New College of Florida 3-1 last night to start a very busy week. What's at stake as the team heads into these final couple of matches?
Well, we've got Warner tonight. And if we beat Warner tonight, we clinch the two spot, which means we get a bye into the Final Four. So it's a big match tonight. Then on Saturday, we've got a big one. Number 10 St. Thomas comes to town, and they are tough. I believe they're still undefeated on the year.
Yeah. Now, where are we in conference?
We are second.
Second in conference.
Yep, second in conference. So if we would happen to lose tonight, that opens us up to perhaps playing in the first round next Tuesday because Kaiser would have a chance to catch us.
Well, it's been a great season. I know we're all looking forward to seeing how this team does down the stretch and into the playoffs. So, here we go.
10-2 in conference, and just as you said, a really great season. So excited for this week.
Cross country, men and women will host the Sun Conference Championships on Saturday at Holloway Park. It's actually the second time.
Yes.
We've been actually at our home field, Holloway Park. What do they need to know about the meet this Saturday?
So Saturday, obviously Holloway Park right down the street. Cross country is one of those sports. Tennis and golf are the other two that they don't play on campus. So I know it would mean a lot to the student athletes on the cross country teams if we could get out there and support them. So men run at 7:45, the women at 8:30. And would just encourage our fans to get there. It's a big day.
Yeah, it's. I know it's early on a Saturday, and but the team could use support, so hopefully we can get some out there.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Exciting weekend.
And men's basketball opened the season last Friday in Marietta, Georgia at Life University. We played Bryan College, and when I first saw this, I thought, wait a minute, this has to be a typo. Yep. We beat them 127-83. I mean, what a night.
The last time you saw a score like that, you were probably looking at the Clipper at the NBA box score.
I was back at an NBA game.
Yeah, not a typo. We are on fire.
And speaking of that, we did play like the old ABA. Threes were like crazy.
Yes, we were raining threes. We shot 58% from the field, 64% from three-point land, and it wasn't a 6 for 10. It was 27 threes. We are searching the record books, but I mean the NAI national record is 28 threes, so I'm pretty sure that's a school record. So defense was clicking too. Brian only shot 38% from the field, 20% from downtown. Ahmad Johnson led the team with 19 points, but we had 6 players that night in double digits, and everyone on the roster scored.
Now, it was a big game, but the next day didn't quite go the same way. Lost to Life 93-82. What happened in that one?
Did not. It went that way for about a half, but Life made some adjustments in the second half, according to Coach Welty, and they went zone, and I don't think he's going to be ready for it next time. I think when you're a basketball coach, and we'll talk to Coach Epperson here in a few minutes, I used to always like to play zone because nobody practices zone.
Right.
They typically play man-to-man in practice. So you throw a zone out, I'm like, shoot, we have a zone offense, but we really don't know the nuances of it or where the defense is vulnerable. So, I think that happened to our team. Life made an adjustment, and unfortunately we fell 93-82. So, it's a live-learn. And funny thing about Coach, his first ever collegiate win as a head coach comes with 127 points.
Yeah. First, that's right.
So everybody's reaching out to him. Congratulations. Yeah. What the heck? And so I called him the next night. I said, hey, how many people have called you tonight? He goes,
not very many.
It's funny. He said, no one congratulates you on the first loss.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, obviously we're excited about Coach Welty and the men's team and what they're.
So what's next?
Well, we have a tournament this weekend, so we've got.
That's home, right?
It is home.
Okay.
We play University of Mobile on Friday night, home opener at 7 p.m. And then we've got Our Lady of the Lake University on Saturday night at 7.
Where are they located?
I believe they're in Texas.
Texas, okay.
I may be wrong about that, but
all right. Well, it should be an exciting weekend. Looking forward to it.
I can't get past the name. Actually, I whenever I see that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to it. So
Yes.
Hopefully everybody can come out for that. And then wrestling, we have a meet coming up on Saturday night against Truett McConnell on the road. That starts at 7. What's the team doing?
Over the weekend, they went up to Corbin, Kentucky, to play in the Patriot Open at University of Cumberland's. Really long day. They started about 9 a.m. They weighed in about 7:30 in the morning. Started at 9, and then they didn't finish till 9:30 that night. So long day for the guys. But the guys got a lot of action. But we've got our first home duel coming up next Friday, November 15th, against number 14 Reinhardt.
Yeah, and of course we had Coach Patrick and Graham on the show last week, and we're excited for the home opener next week.
Yes.
Should be good. Well, we love to talk about all the good things happening in fire athletics. Those things can't happen without the support of our sponsors. The sponsor for today's show is Regal Automotive. Regal Automotive Group, your source for all things automotive in Lakeland and Winter Haven area. Full-service dealer group offering a vast range of quality auto brands and backed by stellar customer service, specializing in Chevrolet, GMC, Kia, Honda, and Acura. Regal Automotive is a proud partner of Fire Athletics. Let Regal Automotive be your first choice when shopping for a new car, SUV, or pickup truck. Well, last but not least, our women's basketball team's gotten off to a great start, currently sitting at 4-0. Here today to talk with us, head coach Josh Epperson and sophomore Ari Smuda. Ari, welcome to the show. Josh, great to have you on the show.
Welcome.
Thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, privilege. Coach, you're in the first season here at SCU, so welcome. Glad you're on the team and in the family. We're glad that you're leading the way, and what a great start so far. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, what brought you to SCU, and what do you like so far about being part of the Fire family?
Yeah, so, I was raised in a Christian family. I think that's important as far as my path. I was raised in Kansas, and so out of the blue, took a trip out to a Christian university in Tennessee and fell in love with it. Loved the environment there at a conservative Christian school. And so went to school there and then ended up coaching there, but fell in love with Christian education and just a passion for that, getting to make an impact on players and on people, not just on the court, but hopefully something deeper than that. And so that's what led me here as well, is that we're looking for a place that had a great Christian atmosphere, that wanted to make a big impact on these players off the court, not just on the court. And obviously the tradition here is unmatched. I feel like this is a place that you can win not just regionally but also nationally. And so we can win in every way. And that's one of the things that really attracted us to this spot. My wife, Kelly, she's an amazing person. She does mission trips every year overseas, usually as she speaks Spanish. That's what she's a Spanish teacher. And so she was excited too. She loves the warm weather.
Sure.
And so we always joke, my first offer ever as a college coach was up in northern Indiana near Notre Dame at a school up there. And we got done with the interview. They called me and offered me a job, and she says, "There is no way we're going up here. It is too cold." So we turned that one down, but we're excited to be able to go down somewhere where we're excited about the winter here, that, it'd be a little warmer than what we're used to. So that's nice too. Just an added bonus. We love a lot of things about Lakeland and about Southeastern University.
Wow, it's great to have you here.
So, Ari, you're in your second here at
Yes.
Southeastern from my hometown.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not from Philly, but we're from the Philly area.
Right.
Coach, tell us about your family, how you got here all the way from PA, and what you've enjoyed most about your SCU experience.
Yeah, so I grew up in a Christian household. My dad's a pastor, actually. He's been a pastor my whole life. So that was always very important in my faith. And so, when I was kind of going through the college decision-making process, I was really wanting to go to a Christian university, and there wasn't a lot around me, and so that made it really difficult. The recruiting process wasn't always the easiest, with what I had in mind and kind of what I wanted to do. And it wasn't until my last AAU tournament that I think my dad actually emailed you. And he got an email back, and like that's when we started communicating. I came down here for a visit. And I just I loved it. I loved like obviously being in Florida. That was kind of one of my goals was coming down south, being able to play, competitive collegiate basketball was always one of my goals that I wanted to accomplish. And then also just being at a Christian university, I grew up going to public school. So I always kind of wanted to be surrounded by like-minded believers. And so it checked off all those boxes. And since being here, I always say I love like the people and the professors. I think like I've met some of the nicest people here, and the professors are so genuine. Like at a bigger school, I don't think I would get that. Where here at Southeastern, like I'm really able to have a relationship with these people.
So your sister's at Liberty.
Yes, correct.
And she plays on the team there. Did you ever think about going there to be your teammate?
Yeah, I mean, my parents definitely pushed that. They were like, Liberty, you could play with Bella. And so, yeah, that was always like one of their, like we played 1 year when I was like a freshman in high school, but I wasn't playing a lot at that point. And so, yeah, but she's killing it over there. To give her a shout out.
Yeah, I think we were hoping she'd do her grad year here.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have made it nice for me, both to be on the run. Yeah. Let's go.
And you're short compared to Bella, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question because you're what, 6'3"?
I'm 6'3". She's 6'5". So
Wow.
growing up, like basketball kind of was always in our life because of our height and stuff like that.
Have any brothers?
Yes, I have a younger brother.
And how tall is he?
He's 6'4"-ish.
6'4",
He keeps
okay.
growing. So every time I go home, he's like
He's
an
only
inch
4.
taller.
Yeah.
He's only 4. Yeah.
Man, that's great. Well, being a sophomore and then now having a new coach, it's always a little bit of adjustment for players, of course. But tell us what Coach Epperson has brought to the program and how you as a team are gelling together, coming together as you've navigated this transition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say like kind of going into a new season with a new coach, it's like a restart, honestly, because it's like you have to put in new offense. Like, yeah, sure, there's people from last year that came back, but we did have a lot of new transfers and just new players. And so you have to pretty much start over completely. And I know there was times when I was a little like, okay, how are we going to get this all done? But I will say Coach Epperson has done like a great job at like remaining calm through it all, even when it was like, oh, this does not look right. Or like we're putting new stuff in and like just kind of working through like growing pains and just growing together. But I will say like having a coach that's just like really remained calm through it all, I know as a player has really helped like our team like kind of rest in that confidence that you have and just build off of that.
That's cool. Coach, let's talk about X's and O's.
Okay.
All right. So 2 basketball coaches. Pretend we're sitting at Waffle House,
Let's go.
with the whiteboard. But
Yeah.
team's 4-0.
Yeah.
As Dr. Ingle mentioned, beating Bruton Parker, Nelson. I mean, because
Yeah.
Nelson's our sister school, AG school, so maybe that counts as 2 wins. Thomas, then Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
What have you learned about this team as you've practiced and now played 4 games together?
Yeah, that's a great. One of the things we found pretty early, and we found even through the games, is we do have good depth this year, and depth and talent. Not you want to have the talent with that depth, and that's going to help us a lot. This team really likes to push tempo. Not as much as I take it the boys did in that first game, but we do like to push the tempo. We've got a group that can really get up and down the floor and make pretty good decisions when they are playing faster. I take it it's no secret at this point. We have a team that runs pretty good at some zone stuff, and we won't tell you all of the stuff. We're still working on some new stuff with that.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the girls don't realize this, but at Freed, zone was a 4-letter word. We didn't play it. We're the top man team in the country, and we didn't play zone. You're just not going to do it.
Right.
And so our girls probably are like, Coach, we play all types of stuff here. So, but that's the thing. I think we'll be a very multiple team on the defensive end. I think that can give people problems where we can game plan. I'm one of those that loves to get the chalk out and then try to out game plan somebody. So I think we have different pieces that'll be. The great thing about this team too is we have enough different options that if 1 or 2 are off, someone else can score that night. And I think that's really makes a good team. When you only have 1 or 2 options, and if they're off, you're just out of luck. Or maybe they don't have good matchups.
Yep.
But we have a lot of different matchups that can give people problems. We'll at times be able to go 5 in, 5 out. That's something I've never done as a college coach. But at times, we'll be able to do that. I say that because we just had a concussion today in practice. So we'll see. But anyway.
Yeah, who are the players we need to keep an eye on as the season progresses?
Yeah, so I'll tell you one of the players, Jody Mullins is one of our newcomers. She's a grad student. She's done a really good job. She's a very efficient player, and she can shoot it from all three levels. I didn't used to always be a mid-range shooting fan because sometimes the analytics don't tell you that's always a great shot.
Right.
But Jody's got a really good mid-range shot. Maya's obviously a player everybody probably knows from last year as well. Caselyn got to play some last year, Caselyn Krebs, but this year's played a bigger role. She stayed healthy this year, which has been a big thing for her. And then we've got several others that are big for us. But that's the great thing. We go pretty deep.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So, Ari, you said you've been playing basketball since you were little, and so you're familiar with the concept of a road trip.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
you guys leave for Montana tomorrow, so it's not like going down to Weber, 45 minutes away. So, what is it about? Is the team excited about this trip, and is there value from a player's standpoint on developing team unity on a road trip like this?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like talking to the girls, I think everyone's really excited for this trip. It's a big trip. Like we'll be there for like almost a week, kind of. And so, yeah, I think like team trips to me are always like the greatest bonding opportunity. I know last year, like we did some of our most bonding like on team trips or on long road trips and stuff like that. And so now I'm excited to just kind of like play good basketball. We have some really good teams we'll be playing while we're in Montana, but I'm also excited to just kind of like be able to get to know the girls a little bit more because you're just so close on team trips like that. And I just know like everyone's so excited. Like not a lot of people have been to Montana. And so everyone's like, oh my gosh, like it's going to be so pretty. Like I can't wait to see all the like, so.
That's true.
Well, you better pack a parka because it's going to be cold.
Upper 20s I saw, at night.
Below zero.
So. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So it'll be a fun trip for you. Coach, on this trip, I mean, you're facing Montana Tech, Montana Western, and the University of Montana, D1 school.
Right.
Preview those games for us, and what do you hope to learn from this experience?
Yeah, so both of them play in the Frontier League, both the NAI teams, which is one of the top conferences in the country. And so they have really good basketball, great fundamental teams. Their post player for the first team, Montana Tech, can shoot it, post up. And so it's going to be really fundamental basketball with length. A couple of their wings are 6 foot tall at the wings. And so Montana Tech will probably be better than people think. They've got a lot of returners back off a team that was about 500, but they've got a lot of experience. Montana Western is usually a top 15 team in the country. They beat us last year at our place, so we're excited to go up there and not get revenge because I don't know if that's biblical, but but make sure
Depends on which side you of the old or new.
right, yeah, that's true. So, and then obviously University of Montana went to second round of the WNIT last year, and so that's good. And it's supposedly a great atmosphere playing there. They'll have a huge packed gym because I don't know what else you do in Montana.
Right.
They're looking at the scenery.
Sure.
So we're excited. It'll be a good challenge. That's the thing. We've had some of these opponents have not been as strong as others, but I know we're going to have some really good ones up there, and that's what this team needs. We go right into conference play afterwards, so that's really what we want for this trip, is to get some bonding experience, but also get to play a couple really tough teams before we enter conference play.
Yeah, you mentioned the Frontier and the level of play there. Whenever I see teams play from that area, and I'm on the selection committee for women's basketball, so we watch film. Whether it's a men's team or a women's team, it always kind of like they're corn fed. Like they're strong. They're like you said, length. 6 foot wing.
Yeah.
And and so it's going to be a really good challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing how we measure up. So Ari, what's your major?
Right now I'm majoring in human communication and I'm minoring in political science.
Okay, what do you do with that combination?
So a lot of people ask me that actually, but I'm hoping like big career scheme to like go into law school after I graduate. That's kind of just depends on like if I really want to like pursue like a big career. If not, I'm trying to like do something around politics and around law that doesn't necessarily require as much schooling. But yeah, that's kind of like where I'm want to go with it. But obviously like things change. That's not what I thought I was going to do coming into school. So
that happens for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that when you're ready to graduate, if we're sitting here in your fourth year, you're going to go, man, weren't we just sitting here my sophomore year in Fire Talk? So as you look at the next 2.5 years of your life here at Southeastern, Lord willing, what do you see? What do you want to accomplish?
Yeah, no, there's so much I feel like I want to accomplish, like on the court, but also off the court. I think on the court, just continuing to like progress. I think I've made some like pretty good strides from last year, but no, I just want to continue to like do whatever the team needs and just kind of help out in that regard and fill like kind of what Coach was saying. Like we have a lot of depth this year, and so just kind of finding my role this year and fulfilling that. But I think off the court, I just want to continue to like kind of find out what I want to do. You know, I that's kind of my goal. But again, things change. Like you never know what happens, and so just continuing to like really just pursue different things that I'm passionate about, you know, and continuing to like kind of figure out what I want to do postgraduate, and
That's great.
Final question for both of you. As you know, the word of the year is fuel the fire. So as a coach, as an athlete, what does it mean to you?
I think for me as a coach, you see so many players that get burnt out, right? And so my job as a coach is to fuel their fire, to make sure that I'm helping them have that energy to grow in every area of their life. You know, it's one of those things, just like we said earlier, if all I do is help them to be a great basketball player, I failed. And I always say this too, is if I can coach the same way here as I could at a public school, I'm doing it wrong. It should be, I should be able to do something different here because I'm at a Christian school. And so hopefully I can challenge them to fuel that fire that they are growing as a Christian, because it's difficult in the times we're at.
Sure.
So hopefully I can help them every day. Hopefully I can help them find different ways to be in the Word daily. And so that's what it means to me. That's an awesome phrase for a school, but also for a team, right? So.
No, that's great.
Yeah. I would say for me, it definitely means like kind of building off what you're saying is like basketball is a very long season, and that can be hard, especially when you're in the middle of it. I think for me, it really means just like continuing to like always give my 100% and like continuing to like keep fighting even when I don't necessarily want to, or if I'm like just feeling like, you know, really feeling the pressure of everything. And I think that's like on the court, but also off the court as like a Christian, and just when times are hard, just continuing to like lean on God and just trust that His plans are going to work out. And that's what
That's awesome. That's great. Well, thank you both for being here. Always great to have coaches and players stop by, and I know it's going to be a great season ahead, and we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Well, Drew, that's a wrap for today. We want to make sure we remind everyone to come out for the rest of the week for our home athletic events, men's and women's soccer tomorrow night at 4:30 and 7:30, and then men's basketball home opener on Friday at 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, we have the Sun Conference Cross Country Championships at Holloway Park at 7:45, 8:30 a.m. And then volleyball senior day at 2 p.m., men's basketball again at 7 p.m.
Make sure you visit SUFire.com for the latest news in fire athletics. You can find the event calendar there, all of our results, and a link to watch all of our home games for free. Good luck to all the fall sports as they make their playoff run, and the winter sports as they continue to start their season.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and go Fire.
Go Fire.